Good morning, sunshines. It is Monday, April 29th, and that means it's the first day of the Chaotic Neutral Mystery Knit Along. Yay! I'm super excited. Are you super excited? I'm also pretty tired. Um, the pattern has been the first clue has been released, so that's super awesome. I will be casting mine on in a little bit. I haven't yet wound the yarn for the project because I spun some of the yarn that I needed. And it is still drying, so I'm going to give it a couple hours to dry. And then when my boyfriend gets home from work, we're going to watch Game of Thrones, and I think I'm going to cast on while we watch that. So while we're here, before he gets home, and I need, before I can work on that, I have 4 projects that I want to finish before the end of the month, which is tomorrow night at midnight. I don't think I'm going to finish these things, but let's look at what we have. So this is the second uphill downhill sock, and this is where I was on Thursday when I recorded. So I've done the entire leg and the heel. I just need to, sorry, that there's a lot of shaking. We're sitting on my bed and my dog is, you are perched. You are on my laptop, perched on a laundry basket full of clean laundry that needs to be put away because I washed 4 loads of laundry yesterday. 5 loads. I washed 5 loads of laundry yesterday and I put 2 away, folded and put 2 away. So that means there are 3 that need to be folded and put away today. Maybe I will do that this morning before Game of Thrones. I don't promise that. But anyway, my dog is laying on the bed next to the clothes basket and she is fidgeting a lot. So that's what the shaking is. Apologies. That's probably going to happen a lot this month. Anyway, I'm through the heel on the uphill downhill sock, so I just have the foot and the toe. I'm fairly certain that this project and the next project I will not have a difficult time finishing before tomorrow. So this is the first. This project is just a modified Rose City roller, modified to be toe up and not have any of the foot stuff going on. I think that the foot has some sort of ribbing or something around the instep. I don't know. I don't do that. So this sock was right here. So I've done half a round since I recorded the podcast. So this should also be super easy though. This is what I'm going to take to work. And between today and tomorrow at work, I should totally be able to finish this sock, no problem. This sock will definitely be finished. The uphill downhill will probably be finished. It would have to take something pretty extraordinary to stop me from being able to finish that by tomorrow night before bed, especially because Handcraft Club is finished for the school year, which means I don't have to. This is gonna sound awful, right? But I'm not losing that time um, to teaching kids. It's not really losing time, but it definitely does cut into my crafting time, having to stay after school with the kids and honestly what it is that I don't sit in my car for parent pickup on days that Handcraft Club happens, which means instead of being stuck in my car and knitting, I am doing other things like cleaning at home or, getting ready for club. I really like club, but I'm also really glad that it's over for the school year. Anyway, these two, this will definitely be finished. This will most likely be finished. I really can't think of a reason why this wouldn't be finished. So then I have these two. I have a sweater for my daughter, which is in the exact same place as it was on the podcast. I think that this will be my priority over the next project because I can finish this faster. It's worsted weight yarn on a size H hook. It's a child sweater. So this will be in order of priority, I guess, is how I'm showing these projects unintentionally. And then the last project, which I am like 97% certain will not be finished by tomorrow night. I don't know how many hours I think I have to knit, but apparently more than I do. This is the, what is this? It's my pattern, trough, which is a poncho cowl thing. And I have worked 4 rounds since the podcast, so I haven't even been working on it. And it is a quite substantial piece. So it's fingering weight yarn. I have it on size 5 knitting needles, which I don't know why that is, and I'm actually going to change it over to different knitting needles. I don't know if I'm going to go up a size to a size 6 or down to a 4 or 3. The pattern was originally knit on a size 3. I just happened to grab the 5s first. I might go down to 3s, which sounds like a big jump in numbers, but it's going from a 3.75 millimeter to a 3.25 millimeter, so it's really not that big. I don't know. But I need these size 5s for my mystery knit along project. The pattern says size 6, but I'm a loose knitter, so I'm going down to 5s for mine. And I actually designed it on 5s. I just know that I'm a loose knitter. So yeah, that's a thing that has to happen. So this will get at least one more round knit on it before tomorrow as I transfer the needles. So wish me luck on finishing those projects, and um, and I will have knit along stuff to show you later. And I don't know what else is going to happen today. I do know that a costume change is going to happen today because I actually wore this shirt yesterday and then I wore it to bed. So before I go to work today, there will be a shower happening. Hey, just here for a quick check-in. It is about 1:40 in the afternoon, so I have the hiccups and just about an hour until I have to head back to the school to pick up my kids. So I want to chat with you about my morning. I taught a class this morning. It was to make a crocheted bowl, and my I only had one student. And class was really good. She was a retired secretary, so we just talked about how awesome the secretaries at my kids' school are. And then I went to the school and I did the second half of my lunch duties because the first half I was teaching a class. And now I am here. I have done a little bit of knitting on some stuff this morning. Most notably is the chaotic neutral mystery knit along started this morning, and I am super excited about it. I have decided, in case you're worried, I will show my daily progress as the very last slide of the video, and I will try to remember to throw up a spoiler alert before then, but I can't promise that. I'm not going to show you what I did this morning. I did the first half of the clue this morning. This pattern really doesn't take too long to knit along with. So I hope that people will be more or less capable of keeping up throughout. It has also been decided by me and the group, but mostly me, that the finished thread will be for each day's finished progress, so that the further you get in the knit along during the knit along time, the better your chances are for winning a prize. And also, I just want to see the things. So I want to talk about the yarn that I'm using. I did not finish spinning everything that I wanted to spin for this knit along, but I do have this. This is my gourmet stash. And you can see it's mostly black with flecks of color and then white in the center. I don't know if I'm going to reach the white part or not. If I don't, that's fine. If I do, also fine. That'll just be a different thing. I am doing the cowl version. So the chaotic neutral, you can do a shawl wrap thing or a cowl. And my wrap blocked out to be 14 inches by 70 inches. So it's pretty big. For me, I feel like that's big. I know there are tons of wraps that are way bigger, but 14, and you could definitely block it a little bit deeper. My secondary color, I only have a little tiny bit left. So I spun as much as I could yesterday of an alpaca silk fiber that I had. And the singles are lovely. I tried playing on the fly and it did not want to play. It didn't want to do that. So then I tried, like, I just held it up to sample to apply it back on itself, and I didn't like the way that a two-ply looked either. But the single that it wanted to spin as was too thin to use as the secondary color. Because I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll just use it as a single. It didn't want to spin thick enough to be just a single. So what I am doing is I'm not plying it, but I'm holding two strands together, and this just happens to be the tail, so it plied itself. But it looks really, really nice when it's not plied and it's just laying next to each other. So that's my secondary color. I spun 36 yards yesterday. So I'm holding it in half, so that gives me 18 yards. And I might have enough to finish tomorrow's clue, but I don't know because I didn't measure it. I didn't weigh the fiber before I started knitting. I took it off the drying area and I didn't even wind it. I knit from both ends. I was going to do an Andean bracelet to knit off of, but then it decided it was going to be rude, so I had one strand coming off of an Andean bracelet. I had the other strand just coming off of the loop off of my Nitty Knotty, and that's how I knit the first clue. It's fine. And then after that, I wound it into a ball because both halves of the fiber were less unruly at that moment. I'm really glad that I stuck with this fiber, even though it was a pain in the butt, because I think it is so pretty with this black. Oh, I love it. Especially in contrast to what I'm using as my contrast color. Look at all those bright Eastery colors. So obviously I haven't started knitting with this yet. I am about to wind it up and get the second half of this first clue knocked out. I'm super excited to see how this plays with my main color. Why does 40 and rainy feel like it's 40 degrees colder than 50 and sunny last week on Monday? Also, my sister has a migraine, so I have to pick up her kids and drop them off at her house, which takes me, I can either go on the freeway right at the start of rush hour, or I can take a main busy street at the start of rush hour. Today is not as knit-filled as I want it to be.
Hello.
Please like and subscribe.
No. Gabriel.
Go ahead, Mara, you do it.
Hi. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to our channel, I mean. I'm Mara. What's your name?
Burp.
This is my brother, Gabriel. This is my sister, Katie, and this is my mom, Heather.
Burp.
Okay, now we're going to, this is my evening, is these two. This is what we're doing.
No,
Hey.
be us three.
Oh, those three. I'm sorry. I somehow forgot about Katie for a minute. Very important. Don't forget
A
your
really
children.
annoying
Guess how
kid,
old
okay?
I am.
12.
No.
6.
Only my fans.
Only your fans. Only the fans can guess.
I mean, only our fans.
Only our fans. Okay, so what do they do if they want to guess?
Guess how old we are.
They have comment down below.
Guess how old we are.
My sis, I'm 7.
But you got guess mine. Do not tell me.
Okay, so we're going to we're gonna go now that they got to be vloggers, and this will all go up on YouTube. So what do we tell them?
Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification bell so that our new videos are up. Remember, hashtag JustMar33 is awesome. Also, when I grow to be 18, I make my own videos. Oh yeah, Katie said that. And remember, comment down below if you want to see all my videos on my channel and see and
When I'm 14, guys, it's going to be called Tassie, okay?
Well, if you want to see
Just for a
Gabriel's
heads up.
videos when he grows up, please comment down below
And lots of
and
thumbs
check
up.
out. Also,
Okay, Mara,
and mom, if you want to see more of my mom's videos, please make sure to comment down below.
Mara, you're saying
we will see you next time. Goodbye.
You really can't have better hype people than that, for reals.
I agree with mommy.
Okay, so I am just checking in before I go to bed. The kids are in bed. It is just after 8 p.m. I will probably stay up for another hour or two. But I wanted to wrap up a little bit of what was going on today. So we started Game of Thrones this morning, but it was a really long episode, and I only had 30 minutes between the time that Patrick got home and I had to leave to go teach my class. So we watched 30 minutes. We will watch the other hour of it tomorrow. Luckily, I don't know anybody who talks about Game of Thrones on social media, so I'm all set for that. What else? I didn't work on the two larger projects for at all today. I only managed a little bit on the purple sock, and I did pretty decent work on the uphill downhill sock. So I was right at the edge of the heel. I am through the gusset. I have 6 5. Foot repeats, I'm going to 13, so I have a little more than halfway to go before tomorrow night. I will be working on one of these 2 projects before I go to bed, so that will there will be more progress made tonight. I will show you that. In the morning, I don't think there's really anything else to say other than this is your spoiler alert. As soon as I finish signing off, there will be the photo of my first clue. I will see you guys in the morning. Bye.